Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the GSL Code A today, to the second stream. There are two streams once more. We have Doa and Wolf on one of them, and myself, Calder, is going to bring you four of today's matches, namely Hero from Team Liquid against ASD, Lovezik against Don Ragu, Inca against Teja, and Supernova against Skriddle. So we have a lot of good games going on today, and these matches should be pretty exciting. We have one mirror match with the ZVZ Lovezik against Don Ragu, and Hero against ASD. Obviously is going to be a Protoss versus Terran, as are the other two matches. Inca against Teja and Supernova against Skriddle, so a lot of PBT. And the first one will be Hero against ASD. Quite an interesting match. We're just waiting for the players to get ready so that we can start the games. And this is the GSL Code A. Today we have a lot of really accomplished players, especially Hero, for example, was able to win the DreamHack lately. He was able to take down his opponent with 4-3 in the final. He took down Puma and has to face Nuclear today, also known as ASD from Team FXO. And let's just talk a little bit about the two players, especially about their records in this particular matchup. We have Hero with a win quota of 61% against Terran. He was able to decide 48 of his 79 matches against Terran in his favor, and his latest results against Terran is a 2-0 against Thorzane at the IGN. We have him with 4-3 against Puma at the DreamHack. I just mentioned that in the final. He was able to decide that in his favor. But he lost to MVP at the MLG with 0-2. But all in all, very impressive results by Liquid Hero and FXO ASD. He's really pretty good at this particular matchup as well. He has a 60% win quota, but only 10 games played. So this is not all that much. He needs to show that he's able to win against a player like Liquid Hero as well. But this is going to be a pretty tough one for the player from Team FX Open. We have him with a 0-1 against Mentalist at the FX Open King of the Hill, and he was able to take down Guinea Pig in Code A with 2-0. So I guess that the FXO player will be probably a little bit nervous. We're not in the studio with this second stream. As you may already know, there are two streams available. One from the studio, from the GOMTV studio, where Doa and Wolf are casting today, and the second one from the office, where I will provide a stream for you guys out there. So these matches should be pretty amazing. I'm just waiting for the games to start. The first map will be Antigua Shipyard, by the way. This is map number 1, and the second map is going to be Belcher Beach, and if need be, the third one will be Dual Side for this Protoss versus Terran matchup at today's Code A cast. So the game is about to start. We are jumping right into it. The countdown is running already. And one of the great benefits of casting in the office right now and casting on my own is just that I'm able to control the mouse. So I can point out a little bit more of the details to you. Usually dependent on the GOM server, who's doing an awesome job, by the way. But sometimes it's really nice if you can just focus on the things on the map that you're currently explaining. So let's get into this matchup. We have Liquid Hero against FXO ASD, also known as Nuclear. And yeah, I think we are going to adjust something. Let me take care of that before we actually start the game itself. Where is it? Menu bar. Hide that. We don't need that at all. That looks much better right now. Okay, let's get into this game. Antigua Shipyard is the first match in this Protoss versus Terran matchup between Hero and ASD. We just mentioned the stats of the two players, just time a little bit. We have Liquid Hero, the 61% win quota against Terran. FXO ASD also has 60% in this particular matchup, but he has way less matches against Protoss than his opponent against Terran. At the top of the map, we have, in the red colors, we have Liquid Hero, the victor at DreamHack, able to take down Puma with 4-2-3, and at IGN he took down Thorzane without losing a single map to the accomplished Terran player from Team Sports. At 6 o'clock start position, you have his opponent. In the blue colors, we have FXO ASD. And FXO ASD is now just placing down his barracks. We have him with no refinery so far. Antigua is a pretty big map, and a lot of players decide to go for a very early expansion on a map like that. So we can expect ASD to go for an expansion without gas in the early stages of the game. Whereas his opponent, Hero, is already starting to accumulate minerals. He will place down a Nexus first, is not even getting a gateway before he starts with a second base, and that probe is already on its way to the left side to the natural expansion in order to place down that Nexus. And at the same time, we still don't see gas for the Terran player in blue for ASD. He is now just waiting for 400 minerals to get ready before he places down a command center himself, getting the orbital upgrade before that. So yep, both players are going for the macro game, and that's really what's kind of amazing about Antigua Shipyard. I really love that about that map, that usually you don't see all too many rushes on a map like that. You usually see that macro game because the map is pretty huge. Now, a couple of changes in comparison to the later maps that you might already know about. In the middle of the map, we don't have gold mineral patches, we have blue mineral patches, which is a really nice thing and balances the maps a lot in my opinion, because if you control the middle of the map, then you have a very good lead on that game. You can just try to take both gold expansions if you're playing on the ladder map, and if you are on the GSL version, it's not all that bad. So controlling the middle of the map will certainly give you an advantage over your opponent, but it will still be able for him to get back into that game, to start a comeback, and you won't just be able to get a huge lead in economy. So yeah, let's wait what those two players are up to right now. Hero, who's obviously the favorite player in this game, is going for that cybernetics core. We have him on one gate, just transferring a bunch of probes to his expansion, and both players will just try to get as greedy as possible in the early stages of the game. I'm eager to see if Hero is going for Colossus player, if he decides to play a little bit more based on gateways and immortals. That's a play we've seen in the last couple of matches, and I have to admit that I really like that. Colossus are obviously one of the better choices against Terran, as they dish out a lot of area effect damage, but they are pretty vulnerable to Vikings, and some of the Protoss players decide to do a different tech strategy, try to go, for example, for a Blinkstalker push, and later follow that up with some Templar play in order to deal that area effect damage to the bio army of the Terran player that we usually see in that matchup. So let's just have a look what Hero decides to do right now. We have ASD getting his first factory in order to get access to the medivacs, and he will probably rely once again on that bio play, especially with the ghosts. They are pretty potent, and Blizzard changed the ghosts a little bit. They decided that the radius of the EMP was a little bit too large, changed that, but to be frank, most of the games that I've seen so far, that didn't affect the matchup all too much. So look at that, we already have a starport at a proxy position, so he's going to go for a Banshee play and to try to fly directly in the main base of his opponent. Has double gas right now, already a lot of gas banked up as well, 200. He's on 36 supply. We have him with 29 SCVs against 36 probes, and that could actually work quite well. Let's have a look at the main base of Hero. He's getting a Twilight Council. He's not getting any play that would enable him to detect the cloak units of his opponent. There's just no robotics so far. We already have the tech lab being built, and Hero at the same time is going for another base. He's going to get a third, and this might prove to be really dangerous for the Protoss play. If he doesn't start to build a robotics fairly soon, he might lose a lot of probes, a lot of economy to that push with Cloak. Cloak is already being researched. At the same time, we have a small push by the Protoss player trying to get up that ramp, but with one tank already in the mix and that bunker being positioned at the choke point, there's just no way that Hero can push through. He's getting blinked though, and I'm a little bit surprised that he doesn't go for that robotics, because with an observer he would be able to jump into the main base of his opponent and just try to focus down some of the buildings and maybe SCVs as well, and retreat as soon as ASD is trying to defend his main base. As it is, we have the Terran player with the first Banshee about to pop out, and the Cloak is halfway done. This might get really interesting in just a few seconds, as Hero just refuses to get a Forge or a robotics. He has no way of detecting cloak units, and this doesn't look like he's able to do anything against that Banshee. I have no idea how he wants to defend against that. There is no robotics whatsoever, and the Banshee is on its way. We have Cloak about to complete. The second Banshee is in production, and Hero is in for a lot of pain. The pain train is coming, and I don't know if I have no idea how he's going to defend against that. He has no forge, he can't throw down a cannon, and he doesn't have a robotics. He's not even getting one. He's just solely relying on that play with the Twilight Council with his upgrades. And look at that, the Banshee is starting to attack the probes straight away. Hero needs to retreat. He's building a robotics facility right now, but that will take ages to complete. At the same time, the Stalkers are jumping into the main base of the Terran player. Oh, he needs to be careful right now. Those two bunkers might not be enough to deal with Hero's attack, but we have the siege tank in the back as well, and that Banshee is having a field day. Look at that. That's one happy Banshee right there. Is out of energy though, needs to retreat. 9 kills so far. Oh, and dies to those Stalkers, but at the same time the second Banshee is already starting to focus down more and more probes. That thing has 3 kills so far, and at the same time is, well, we have the robotics facility to be about to be finished, but there is no observer. He needs to chrono boost that observer, and at the same time he already lost 6 additional probes. Look at that. He's just losing so many units, and now he might even be able to target down that sentry. No, he's not. The Banshee running out of energy, and wow, Hero just with a huge amount of probe losses, and he has lost 15 of them. At the same time, that factory scouted the third base of the Protoss player. Hero was not able to deal a lot of damage to his opponent, and right now with them starport there is still an immediate threat to the base of the Protoss player from Team Liquid. Hero, he has 1 observer finally, but he lost a lot of units. He's now at 102 supply against 93, still with a decent amount of probes. The Protoss player is a little bit behind with 53 probe supply against 59. There are 3 mules in the mix as well. We have double engineering bay for the upgrades for ASD, and he had to cancel his command center. The command center was located over here, had to be cancelled, so he's rebuilding it right now, trying to get a third base as well, and he needs to do that because even though Hero lost a lot of mining and workers as well, he has still a pretty good position in this game, as he's already on 3 bases compared to the 2 of his opponent. He's able to squeeze out workers a lot faster than the Terran player, and ASD needs to be careful. There's Hero once again with the Blink Stalkers, and with Observer he could try to just jump into the main base, maybe just over here, but nope. ASD is having none of that, is now throwing down another missile turret, and therefore the Observer won't be able to get into position to allow the Stalkers to use their blink ability to get into the opponent's main base. We have another pylon being thrown down. There's a second one in order to warp in additional units, one at the rocks where the starport is just now being built. Well, the starport is not being built, it's just building a new add-on. We have the third base ready for ASD. And looking to the main base of the Terran player, we just saw a Ghost Academy finishing. There it is, so the first Ghosts will join the party fairly soon. 128 supply for the Terran player and 141 for Liquid Hero. Army supply is 78 to 65 in Hero's favor. His worker supply is even with the Terran. Try to keep in mind that we still have those 3 mules for FXO ASD, double upgrades now as well for the Protoss player, chrono boosting them, and that Bioforce in the middle of the map without 1-1 about to finish. Oh, and not just now is ready. We have another armory in order to, a little bit late actually. I don't like the timing of ASD when it comes down to that. He should have researched that. He should have built the armory a little bit earlier so that he was able to get the 2 upgrades right after +1/+1 finished, but he didn't do that. I like that sensor tower though. He has a decent idea about what's going to happen, and there's the attack. Guardian Shield already started off. Hero trying to take down the destructible breeze in order to get access to the third base of his opponent, applying a little bit of pressure. Once again reveals the army of the Protoss player, and now with all those Marines, with all the Marines and Marauders, he might be able to take that out. 24 Marauders, 34 Marines at the same time, now just killing the first pile. Supply blocking Hero, getting the +2/+2 upgrades, and the first ghosts are now joining the Bioforces of the FXO player, while Hero has his first Colossus. The Colossus already has the extended thermal range upgrade, so 9 range and range of 9 in total, and the Psionic Storm is being researched after the Templar Archive has been built. And Hero now with another base, trying to get a 4th, trying to secure his lead in economy. And FXO ASD has to move out. He's on 196 supply. He's about to be maxed out. He's getting the +1 attack upgrade for his Vikings now as well. The first few of them are in the mix. And here, look at that. We have that fight going on. Steam being used from the back. The 2 Colossi deal a huge amount of damage, but there is so much stuff for ASD right now. He's just steaming in once again. Is about to complete this +2/+2 upgrades. And has how many Vikings? 2 of them. Just trying to get more as his opponent is adding Colossi to his army. And Hero lost a fair amount of units right there. He lost really a lot of them. He's down to 140 supply, and FXO Nuclear is about to be maxed out once more. Lost 3,700 minerals and resources, and his opponent lost 5,200. And there the next engagement is going on, and immediately the Zealots charge in. He has Storm available now as well. Does he have enough energy on the Templars? Yes, he does. Where is that EMP? Beautiful EMP by the Terran player, and now just chasing down the units of Hero. At the same time, there's a drop going on, able to take down that expansion. Hero was not able to defend in time, and now the FXO player in a leading position in this match, in this first game, in this best of 3 on Antigua Shipyard. 182 supply against 133. Look at that army supply, 125 against 66. Here comes FXO ASD trying to take down that Nexus as well, trying to annihilate the third base of his opponent. And Hero has to defend against that. He's trying to storm up that ramp, but he doesn't have a chance at all against that many units. Oh, but a beautiful storm by Hero, and he might be able to clear that out after all. Yep, he is. ASD is losing a lot of units, is able to save at least some of them with the help of those medivacs, but of course trying to remax his army as fast as possible. And Hero down to 2 bases, only one of them is mining a lot, the other one only has a few patches left with not all that many minerals. So ASD in quite a commanding position right now, getting the +3/+3 upgrade, and we already have more ghosts in the queue as well. There's Hero trying to get back into that game, taking down 2 of the Marivacs. Very well done by him, but he really needs that third base. He needs that base. He especially needs the gas in order to be able to get his army back into shape, especially with all those tech units that he needs right now. But the supply is tight again. We have the Terran player with a better income. Nonetheless, he's at 1,800 minerals per minute and already at 700 gas. +3/+3 is still a good time away. We have 5 ghosts in the making. That's a lot of ghosts right there. 22 Marauders still, 26 Marines and 4 Vikings. He definitely needs a little bit more Vikings if he wants to deal with all those Colossi. They are already on +2/+2 upgrades. Hero has started to get the +3/+3 for armor and attack. That is obviously chrono boosting them as well. In the main base, there are just more and more probes being transferred over to the 4th base that Hero is trying to rebuild at the same time. And that scary force of FXO ASD will probably attack fairly soon. The Marines and Marauders are joined now by a lot of ghosts. In total, we have 6 of them. +3/+3 is about to finish. Will probably finish when the Terran player reaches the main base of his opponent. The 4th base of AXD now being secured by the upgrade of Planetary Fortress. That one zealot might be able to deal a little bit of damage to dish it out, but still that command center is going to be upgraded. And those storms in the middle of the map don't do Hero all that much good. That Templar was already taken down, and at the same time the SCVs now killing that Zealot, attacking straight away. The Zealot at least has 2 or 3 kills, but that's all it's going to achieve. A 4th kill as well. Going down now nonetheless. Both players are maxed out. We have Hero with a decent amount of minerals, and in the middle of the map, securing the Lexenlager Watchtower, is ASD, and he needs to be really careful. Hero is maxed out as well, and the army supply is even. So if Hero is able to get some really nice storms into that bio army, the Terran player will be in quite a lot of pain. But will the Ghost be able to EMP his opponent, or will the feedback spree hitting the Ghost before that? The base is about to die. That base is about to die. At the back, look at all those Colossi, and there are not enough Vikings. Oh my god, ASD is about to lose that encounter, especially with all those storms going down now as well. All the Vikings are already gone, and Hero coming back into that game already. Although I have to admit that he lost a lot of units in this particular encounter as well, but he's still doing a good job at controlling his opponent's army. Needs to try to avoid those EMPs and those stalkers in the back trying to harass the SCV line, and that command center, that Planetary Fortress is about to die. There's no way that he can secure that one, and therefore he's back on 3 bases, and most of them are already mined out. He doesn't have any minerals left in his main base. He only has a few at the natural expansion, and the only mining base for him right now is the 3rd base, whereas his opponent has secured 2 additional bases and is now on 3 upgrades himself. Started to research the shield upgrade. Still a really scary force by ASD, but Liquid Hero took the supply lead in this game. And even though the Terran player is on 3 upgrades, this is going to be hard on him. Another Viking dies before the actual encounter, and now the Stalkers need to blink away, but we have 4 Colossi and 9 Templar being able to storm. He just needs to make sure that he splits his Templar army a little bit. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. One of the EMP hits home though. But look at that army. There are way too many storms, way too much area of effect damage, and ASD took a lot of damage already. His army is only on half hit points, and there is not really a lot of medivacs in the mix. We have 2 of them, and that's not enough to heal that army. At the same time, we have the drop at the 3rd base, but there are too many units. Nice storm now. Nice storm by Hero, taking out both of the Marauders, taking out the medivac as well as the Marine. And another attempt by ASD to take down that 3rd base. There are still 2 High Templar. Oh, will he be able to get off those storms? Yes, he is. And at the same time, the army arrives in order to defend against that push. And this is looking pretty damn good for ASD. Sorry, for Hero, obviously. ASD is in a lot of trouble right now. And Hero has the resources to warp in reinforcements. That's exactly what he does, clearing out that army, taking game number 1. GG by FXO. ASD leaving the game and therefore losing Antigua Shipyard. Liquid Hero with win number 1.